and give funds to protesters who are not so fortunate as myself. So I definitely want to amplify that. Today I made a tweet saying that, informing people that I was about to turn myself in for the warrant. I also made a tweet saying that if anything happens to me, I did not kill myself. So in the spirit of Sandra Bland, in the spirit of Pamela Turner, in the spirit of Breonna Taylor, I thought I could have been another hashtag. And so I wanted to let people know on my Twitter that now has over 20,000 likes. So people are looking at this. People are watching Nashville. People are watching Tennessee. And so I made that tweet to let people know that things are not okay. Not just with me, not just with my case, but here in Tennessee. And so you can try to silence the movement, but you can't. You can try to jail the revolutionary, but you cannot jail the revolution. And so I have my lawyer here to say a few words.
My name is Courtney Teasley, and I just want to highlight exactly what she said. The fear when she contacted me that she may not come out alive due to her activism. The fear that she had when she contacted me moved me to come immediately by her side. And the state did the right thing in this case. They did rescind the warrants in this case. But guess what? There are still people incarcerated whose bonds do not match the crime. That's why the Community Bail Fund is such a great resource to help protesters who cannot afford that high bond get out of jail.
Talk to me about what happened with your client that allowed for that warrant to be, or those charges rather, to be dropped. Is that what I understand?
That was it's more of a question for the state at this time. That's more of a question for the state. It was a call. There was a discussion with the state, and they rescinded the warrants. So that's more of a question for them.
Jeneisha, how's this encounter with law enforcement left you feeling?
Again, I made a tweet saying that if anything happens to me, I did not kill myself. And so again, in the spirit of Sandra Bland, in the spirit of Pamela Turner, in the spirit of Breonna Taylor, who women have been assaulted and even murdered by the police, I did not want to be another number. So I was left in fear and in disgust with Tennessee law enforcement and this state in general.
You said you were out at Saturday's rally. You were peacefully protesting.
Yes.
What went through your head when you found out the charges you were facing that were later dropped off while we're talking right now? What went through your head when you found out that you were charged?
I was actually shocked because I did lead and speak at a very peaceful protest. I was not involved in any vandalism. I was not involved in any rioting. And that's that. Yeah.
Now, when you went to church today, what was it like? I mean, what was that teaching like for you? What was your interaction?
Well, this is my third time being arrested for my activism here in Tennessee. And so it's not a foreign feeling because I have had to turn myself in a few times. And so that just goes to show the dynamic between Tennessee's politics and activism here in Tennessee.
And we're live right now. I want you to tell our audience, tell us your first and last name for me.
My name is Jeneisha Harris, Jeneisha Harris, Harris.
Talk to me about the response you've gotten on that tweet again.
It's been overwhelming. I've had celebrities reach out to me. The City Girls, which is a ginormous group in the Black community and beyond. People like people from the Cowboys, NFL teams. So many different celebrities have reached out, and they are watching Tennessee. They are listening to Tennessee, and they are watching the activism that the residents of this state is participating in. So the love has been overwhelming, and I do want to take this time to say that I support each and every one of you so much. I've gained about 5,000 followers within the past hour. The tweet that I made about not killing myself actually has about 20,000 likes on Twitter. And so the response has been super overwhelming, but it's attention that we need to put on this movement and the people that are participating in the movement.
You just said the world is watching Tennessee. When you look out and you see today's rally and you see the diversity in the crowd, what do you hope the message is coming out of Nashville specifically and hopefully the rest of the state?
Tennessee is a very peculiar state. Obviously, we are in the South, and a lot of these issues derived here in the South. So Tennessee and specifically, and Nashville and specifically, is a very special place. And so I am sad. Today was the funeral of George Floyd, who, you know, this uproar started about him and around him. And so having to deal with that and then, you know, having to turn myself in today, it's just been a really long day. But I'm in a very mixed emotions of state. I'm sad. I am happy that people are witnessing and learning about the evils of white supremacy and the evils of this system. And so I'm in very mixed emotions right now.
Ms. Harris, how old you are?
23 years old.
What's your next step? What do you do? What do you do now?
Next steps. That's a great question. So I have been on podcasts and interviews all week talking about next steps. So if you have not noticed, LA, the mayor of Los Angeles, actually just defunded the police. They rescinded $100 million from their police force. And I urge Mayor Cooper, wherever you are, to do the same thing. The first step is to defund the police, to demilitarize the police, to put more education programs, to increase healthcare, mental healthcare policies reform. There are so many things that we need to do, but the first step is to be educated. If you follow me on Instagram, I have a book list that people can learn about how the issues work, because in order to do the work, you have to learn how the issues themselves work. And so I have a book list. I have abolition and prison reform resources. I have just so many things on my website, on my Instagram, and I could talk about this all day because I'm so passionate about it, but there are so many resources on next steps. But the first step in Nashville would be to defund the police. And a lot of times we talk about defunding the police, but we don't talk about the specifics of that and what that looks like. And so Gideon's Army is a perfect example of that. They are pivotal in the North Nashville community. So for example, if a crime happens, they are the first people to get called. And so they literally are called between the hours of 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and they de-escalate situations, which is actually what the police force is supposed to do, but they don't do. So they de-escalate situations, they prevent retaliation, and they have a great sense of community policing. And I think that Mayor Cooper should pay attention to that and to replace the Nashville Police Department with organizations like Gideon's Army. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Thank you.
Did I get in here? Yeah, I'll try to get you to come on over. You're too kind, bud. Thank you, man. How you been? Huh? How you been? Making it, man. I think I'm sick. Everything going on.
Guys, come to me right now. 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 Come to me. Come to me right now. This woman just got tased. Come to me right now. Come to me right now.